I'm Whitney.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Deb.
We're three best friends who love nerdy things.
Well, some people think we're nerdy, but we think we're pretty awesome.
This is our nerdiest thing.
Hello, fellow nerds, and welcome to our nerdiest thing. Today, we're continuing our discussion of Throne of Glass, chapters 46 through 50. This episode will be very spoiler heavy for Throne of Glass, the book, the whole series, and all of Sarah J. Maas's works. So listen with care. And before we get into it, Deb, will you please share our nerdiest cocktail?
Of course. Tonight's drink is named, and I can relate to this. Why are we outside right now? I feel like that every time I go outside. It's themed after making your event outdoors for no reason. And this drink pairs well with embarrassing an asshole, seeing some freaky demons, and a very badass weapon. And it may cause a ghost queen to show up and finally, actually, for the love of God, be helpful.
Yeah.
God.
Look to your right.
Look! So we're going to post the recipe. It is technically a mocktail recipe because we're going to be mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got, but like cinnamon tea in it and pomegranate juice, and it's really, really good.
It is really good.
So if you're like me and Mindy and need the alcohol, we suggest Fireball or spiced rum.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so we added
Delicious.
spiced rum to ours, and it's quite tasty.
It's very festive too.
It is.
For
It
the
tastes
holiday
very
season.
Christmassy, and we were talking about in the recipe. It says to use it with ice, but I think you could heat it up and it'd be really good.
I think it would be really good, like
Yeah.
a
Like a
almost
hot toddy.
or
Yeah.
like a mulled cranberry,
It's mulled wine, guys.
Yeah.
It's spiced rum.
but with cranberry juice.
Spiced rum isn't a lot of warm drinks though in the holidays, so
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That would be really good.
it's quite tasty. So if you want the mocktail, it's very
Well,
good
it's like
without
It
waffle.
alcohol.
really is.
It's like
Wassail.
what's
Yeah.
that?
Here we go, a wassailing,
Wassailing,
burning down.
Is
the
that a
street.
drink?
It's mulled
Is that
wine.
what that means?
It's mulled
Yeah.
wine, but it's not alcoholic, I think.
Oh, so it's
Maybe.
like hot grape juice.
Mm.
When they
It's more
were
tea. It's more tea. I don't know.
okay, my
Or
entire life.
cider, maybe.
Okay, got it. My entire life, I thought that wassailing was just like strutting down the street.
I did for most of my life.
I feel
yes.
like every time we go somewhere, I'm a wassailing.
That's just my natural state of being.
I was gonna
Is
say, that's-
wassailing.
It's not just Christmas.
Wassailing?
It's every day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, before we get into the nerdiest vocabulary, I'm going to go ahead and share my deep dive.
We didn't do a recap either, just FYI.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I want to hear your deep
I want to
dive.
hear you deep dive first.
well,
And then, but don't forget the recap because I want someone else to have to do it.
I
for once.
absolutely would have. Wasn't it like last week or week before that I forgot the vocabulary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're all
what?
doing our best out here.
You're human, and I'll point out again, this is called our nerdiest thing.
Yes.
We're nerds.
And I'll point out I have a mocktail and not a cocktail, so I can't even blame the drink. So before we get into our recap and our nerdiest vocabulary, I'll go ahead and share my deep dive because it's related to the mocktail title, Why Are We Outside Right Now? I decided to look up what difference, if any difference, it makes being outside in the cold for your physical activity. Because when Selena is like, literally, why are we outside right now? She thinks, is the king just trying to like mess us all up and like make
Right.
it harder?
They could have done this shit in like the great room or
They
the
were
ballroom.
supposed to.
Yeah. Or in the fucking hallway. They
Yeah.
could have done it in the hallway.
They were supposed to do it inside because Kale's like, I don't know. They literally just changed his mind about this. Like we didn't know it was going to be outside because she's like, why didn't you tell me? But
because it's good for the plot.
good for the plot, apparently. Yeah. So I thought that was really funny that she was annoyed by being outside because I would have felt the exact same way. There, like you say, there's a perfectly good, like ginormous castle. Like just go in there.
But it's glass, so they could fuck it up.
Yeah, I
technically.
guess that's true. And maybe it would still be cold. Maybe.
Oh, how do they heat
Castles-
a glass castle?
I guess the creepy like monster mouth fireplaces.
Oh,
Remember, there's
yeah,
one that's like golly, is it golly?
I want a monster mouth fireplace.
It's in the throne room, I think, and the fire was green
Yeah,
when
I
the king
remember,
had it
'cause
lit.
that was one of my questions. I was like,
Yeah, like
why
what's
is
going
it
on with
green?
this fireplace?
Yeah.
But
There's
anyway.
a chick on TikTok that turns her fireplace into like a big like Kraken every year.
Oh,
and it is
that's
so
cool.
cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
It is a lot of work and it
I
looks
bet.
awesome, but it doesn't look like something I want to spend the time to do.
No, I'll look at somebody else's video of them doing it,
And I'll be like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, good job, you. So it got me wondering if being outside in the cold really would make a difference, because I was wondering, like, what was the point of this, right? If it wasn't to I don't know, maybe just mentally mess them up. Like, why would the king make this change? Like, who cares, right? So I looked some stuff up about being outside in the cold during physical activity, not just being outside, not doing anything, but, an exercise. Basically, I'm going to tell you about it. So I looked at 2 articles for this. They're both linked in the show notes. One is from the NIH and is basically a summary of a research project. And then the other is a true article from a website that is run in partnership with the Medical College of Wisconsin. So the article from the NIH, this is a research project that they did in Poland, but I'm not sure exactly when, on a group of men that live in a valley in the Polish Sudety Mountains. However, the Polish pronunciation of that is. Researchers measured things like weight and body fat. They had the men go through a series of fitness tests and then keep track of their outdoor physical activity over the course of 2 different winter seasons back to back. They found, of course, that the men who were physically active over the course of the winter were generally healthier than the inactive men.
Wow, they needed research for that?
Apparently so, right? In terms of things like, BMI, waist to hip circumference ratio, that kind of thing. The physically active men actually also had an increase in skeletal muscle mass, which is how your body's able to physically move. It's the muscles literally attached to your skeleton, which is how you move your body. And that is a huge indicator of your overall health because that's how you do your daily activities. The physically active men performed better in motor fitness tests, flexibility tests, and they improved from one winter season to the next. They had the same results of improving in a speed test of movements with upper limbs, which I think probably means like pumping your arms like you would for
like
running.
Speed walking.
Yes.
Now I'm picturing the prancing woman.
Yes. That is exactly what I thought of too.
She prances?
Prancing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They did grip tests, which I find sexually suggestive. And they did lower body strength tests and cardiorespiratory endurance. And overall, the findings were not just the physically active men were healthier, because but also that being physically active in cold weather outside in Poland doesn't prevent any kind of health gains and doesn't have any negative effect on your overall health. Whoop-de-doo, right? So, however, it can negatively affect your health. It's just not the cold in and of itself that can negatively affect your health. It's an indirect relationship. So when you look at this other article from the Medical College of Wisconsin, which I think is what I said a minute ago. Sure. When you are physically active outside, your body has to work harder doing anything because it's actively working to increase and stabilize your body temperature. So you're going to use more energy with whatever it is that you're doing outside, which means that your body is burning more glycogen, which is a carbohydrate in your muscles. And that means that if you don't eat enough or eat enough of the right foods to replenish that glycogen, you could potentially lose some muscle and not be able to perform whatever activity at the highest potential level because your body physically can't, right? So you have to make sure that you're eating properly and eat carbs because that's what your body needs. They did a study of Navy SEALs participating in mountain warfare and or cold weather training, which I didn't even realize was a thing, that you have to do cold weather training in some military thing. Yeah, it does make sense. It's one of those things I'm like, oh, that sounds terrible. And they found that these Navy SEALs struggled to keep up with their body's energy demands because they did not take the extra energy of keeping themselves warm into account. So the study looked at the SEALs' energy expenditure and their energy intake and determined that if you eat more carbs, it helps. Which again, like, do we need a study for this?
No.
Probably not.
It's almost like they power the cells along with healthy fats and, you know, protein.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
Right. So, you know, eat good food. While and that is an extreme example, I will say, because Navy SEALs are doing physical activity that is not like a day-to-day kind of.
I mean, speak for yourself.
The Navy SEAls and Deb are doing the above and beyond.
If you've met me, you know that's true.
The research demonstrates the importance of regularly replenishing nutrients during periods of physical activity in the cold, which again, I'm like, do we really need a research project to say this? So the second thing you need to take into account is you actually have a higher risk, potentially, of being dehydrated when you are physically active in the cold. You don't actually need more water in cold weather, but you won't feel as thirsty as you do in hot weather. So it's easier to not drink enough and accidentally dehydrate yourself. And the reason that you don't feel as thirsty is because in the cold, as your body is basically struggling to send blood out to your extremities because of the cold, that slows down the production of a hormone called AVP that regulates fluid in your body and makes you not as thirsty. Which I thought was very interesting.
You know, I used to, when I used to work in the schools, I met with this PE teacher one time that does like, he would do extreme like cold weather camping with his son. And you have to be really careful not to sweat because it will freeze to you and make you have hypothermia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
You could
don't?
camp somewhere else and sweat and still be cold.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
That is the truth. The recommendation to make sure you don't get dehydrated in hot or cold is to drink 16 ounces of fluids for every hour that you're outside and active. And also cover your face, mouth, and throat with a scarf or something protective to keep your airways moist. Which also sounded sexually suggestive.
I was going to say there's other ways you can do that.
You also, of course, need to worry about hypothermia and frostbite, which is all about wearing enough layers to keep your body warm. Hypothermia, I didn't know this. Hypothermia starts to set in when your body temperature goes to 95 degrees, which I felt like is not that big of a difference from normal. It's only 3.5 degrees, really, depending on what your normal body temperature is. But if you went to the hospital and you had
a 95-degree temperature, I would freak out.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just didn't sound like a big enough difference to me, but it doesn't matter because that's the truth.
Have you ever given plasma?
No, I've given blood, but not plasma.
Well, and do they give you saline after you give blood?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so when you give plasma, they cycle out your red blood cells from the plasma and they give you your red blood cells back, but then they also give you a bag of saline. And the problem is that it's room temperature, so it's like 76 degrees going into your 98 degree body, and it like is so fucking cold.
I was gonna say, I bet it feels freezing.
You can hardly stand it.
Ew.
But we used to make $200 a month giving plasma for a research company in college. So
well, yeah,
dang.
Yeah, I can be cold for $200,
right? Yeah.
So this is a quote from this article, which is, again, about Wisconsin. So they're talking about that state and their winters. Wisconsin winters can be brutal when it comes to cold temperatures. To avoid hypothermia and frostbite, move your workout inside.
Thanks, Whit.
That made me laugh. I was like, I'm going to include this as a quote. But no, they do recommend don't go outside if the temperature drops below 0 degrees Fahrenheit or if the wind chill is negative 17 Fahrenheit. And I'm like, listen, I'm being inside way before
it gets that
negative
bad.
17 Fahrenheit. But you are not likely to get frostbite if the temperature is above 5 degrees and the wind blows at less than 25 miles per hour, which again, I'm still inside.
Yeah, why?
in those situations.
Yeah.
But okay. Exposed skin can develop frostbite in 30 minutes at a wind chill of negative 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So eat well, dress warm, bring out some water or hot tea when you're doing something active in the cold, and don't get poisoned by Caltane, and you'll probably be fine.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if I can avoid that.
Just do your best. But no, I did this deep dive because I thought, well, first of all, it's cold, right? And people do physical activity outside. So we want our listeners to be safe and also healthy and physically active. But I just felt like, why would the king do this? Like, what was the point? If there's no actual difference that it really makes for being in the cold weather,
other
literally
than
what was the point?
Throwing them off.
But also, it's so Kane can shove her face into the clock tower.
Yeah, I guess it is. Because I was trying to think, like, is there something plot-wise that happens that could only happen if it was outside? And I don't know if maybe, like, Elena wouldn't have been able to do her thing
Maybe
if they were
word
inside or
marks
what.
inside the castle where Elena wouldn't be able to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that could be true.
But I mean, if you pay attention though to when you're reading, when she touches the clock tower, her visions get way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's all about the clock tower, but
yeah.
But then
I didn't put that together until just now.
Why would the king want it to be out there then?
See, that's
unless Sarah J. Maas wanted it out
well,
there.
yeah, Sarah J.
Unless being out there heightens Kane's
Helps
abilities
Kane
as
too.
well.
I bet it probably does. I just wish that and maybe the next section of the book will tell us
We'll
this information.
clarify everything.
But if that is the case,
Yeah.
I wish that we could
known that.
get that information as the reader, because it just kind of felt like, why are we outside right now?
Because Sarah J.
Maas
Maas was 16 and it worked for the book.
Well, that is true. She was in high school and is still a much better storyteller, story writer than I ever could be.
At 16, she wrote more books than I ever have.
Yeah. Same. So that was my deep dive. Thank you for humoring me with that very informative cold weather physical
liked it.
activity.
No, I would have thought
Yeah.
that cold weather would hinder you.
would
but
do
I-
something.
I would too. Yeah.
And I mean, it kind of could, but just like I said, indirectly, right? With
Yeah.
the dehydration and all that stuff. But that brings us to our nerdy and dirty recap. Somebody has 30 seconds to tell us at least some of the things that happened in this section of the book.
Suckers. It better not be me. I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to think you guys are picking on me.
It's Deb. No, I'm just kidding. Mindy, who did the Wheel O' Names?
It's actually me.
It's you.
Yes, it's me this time.
You guys didn't want to see me cry.
It was the Wheel O' Names.
the wheel
did a
picked you,
kindness.
Deb, but I was like, I'll just take one for the team.
All right, Mindy, you have 30 seconds, and away we go.
Dorian can't stop thinking about Selena, and Selena can't stop thinking about the final test. Caltaine poisons Selena's drink before the duels. Kale offers Selena his sword to use, but Nehemia offers her own staff, which means, bitch, you better win. Selena takes down Grave in 2 minutes. Weakened by Bloodbane, Selena struggles to fight Cain as he toys with her. Selena hallucinates dead things attacking her. Nehemia makes signs in the air and looks cuckoo bananas. Elena shows up and says, I can't protect you, but I'll take away the poison. Selena beats Cain. He tries to kill her, but Kale ganks him and then cries like a baby. Nehemia passes out, and Dorian carries Selena back to the castle.
Nice.
Passed out.
Yeah,
That was
she
collapses.
She collapses.
Yeah.
Well, I just skated right all over that.
It wasn't the most important thing that was happening
No.
in that moment.
There was a lot going on.
Thank you for
Yeah, there
pointing that
was.
out.
Yeah.
Good job, Mindy. You had 1 second to spare. That was
Woohoo.
excellent.
That was really good.
There was a lot.
I was a little worried.
There was
to
a
be
lot
honest
going
with you.
on. Very good job. Excellent. Well, Mindy, it is still you
me.
with our nerdiest vocabulary.
Well, I renamed it again this week.
Oh,
to
okay.
Our nerdiest plot device.
Ooh.
I'm changing things up. Trying to keep
Stop
it interesting.
talking dirty
you know?
to me.
It's season 6. What did they do on Supernatural when it was season 7? They're like, season 7. Anything goes.
Pretty much, yes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this plot device called Deus Ex Machina. It is a plot.
Sounds sexy.
It does kind of sound sexy. It rolls off the tongue. It's a
Deus
plot
Ex
device
Machina.
used by writers where a seemingly unsolvable problem gets solved by an unexpected character or event that comes out of nowhere. You can sort of see where I'm going with this. This is a Latin phrase that translates to God from the machine, which might make you wonder what the connection is there. It actually comes from the ancient Greek and Roman plays where an actor who was portraying a god was physically lowered onto the stage by a crane or machine.
Oh,
And they come in to resolve and wrap up a complicated plot.
excellent.
You see this used today a lot in movies or TV shows where it ends up, it was all a dream. That's like,
Yeah.
the
Jacob's
an
Ladder.
example. Yeah. I also,
That's not what I think of when I think of Jacob's Ladder anymore.
not anymore. Me. Yeah.
Sorry.
But I'm
I'm just an innocent little girl.
It also reminds me
Liar.
of Breaking Dawn 2, the movie, when you think
Yes.
that they lose it in a bloodbath, and then really it's just an Alice premonition and then anticlimactic.
You know what, though?
Luckily, the-
So much better than the book.
I love
the Volturi
that.
just
and
peace out
I
without a
loved
big showdown.
that.
It was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I did like that. So the reason I bring this up, obviously, is that we see this used in these chapters when Elena shows up and gives Selena what she needs to win the duel with King.
Yeah.
Ah,
I love
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you. I didn't know
thank
that's
you.
what that was.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fun little plot
I'm so
device.
turned on by you right now.
I know. I
I'm
like
feeling a
these.
little-
This very English teacher.
I am. I'm giving off English teacher vibes.
I
this
like
time.
it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really into it, Mindy. Making eyes at you across the table on our audio medium.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. That brings us to more of the details of what happens in this section of the book with our favorite moments. Deb, will you start us off?
Absolutely. If I can get to my notes in time.
I
There
can
we
go.
go.
I was gonna say, I can go first.
I just so everyone knows, I type in notes while you guys are talking, so I can do like the little like summary when I send out like this is what you should
Yeah.
read this week. So that's what I was doing. Anyway, I have 2 favorite moments. I love how all the kings, I guess I'm going to call them like henchmen, know that Selena can't be defeated unless she's drugged.
Yep.
You're right.
And even Caltaine kind of points it out. They're
Yep.
like, they're so worried about her. I'm going to like drug her. Like incompetent men are so sad.
Yeah,
They're
because
so
she's.
sad.
I think when Caltaine is thinking that, she's looking at Cain
and being
is
like, what are you all thinking?
Yeah, like he's humongous. Because Caltaine, of course, is thinking, just look at their size, right? Which, if you do just look at their size, you would 100% assume that Cain would absolutely destroy her.
And
you know,
Caltaine has not seen what she can actually do
Oh,
because
yeah.
she's held back the entire time.
yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
But she does know she's
This
Adarlan's assassin.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy for someone, especially to a woman, to be like, she got lucky or she slept her way
Yeah.
there.
Or
some
all the
bullshit.
rumors are exaggerated. and
Right.
they're not actually true. And
Right.
yeah, all that stuff.
So
for sure.
my second one was a moment that made me laugh out loud. And it's when Selena is fighting Grave. The passage reads, his blade wedged in the wood, and she jumped toward him, letting the force of his own blow snap the upper part of the staff straight into his face. So this is the equivalent of what a sibling does to another when they're like picking on each other, or like you'd be walking like past some trees and your sibling would like pull the branch back and let it snap in your face.
yeah.
I was laughing so hard. It could have been the gummy. I mean, it could have been. But I was like, she literally was just like, boing, and it just like the staff hit him in the face. And
Yes.
it's like all I could think about for the rest of their duel. I loved it.
It's like a Roadrunner cartoon.
It is.
Yeah.
Or somebody steps on the rake.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But she's like, I'm going to kick your ass. Also, you're going to kick your own ass.
yeah. I'm kicking my own ass.
Oh my God, Whitney, I love you so much right now. Hey, listeners, if you can name the movie without looking anything up, we will send you an Our Nerdiest Thing prize pack. Message us.
Yeah. Well, my favorite moment is also Selena and Graves, but it's really just the whole thing. Grave.
Great.
Just Grave, right? Okay. The way that she completely destroys him and just really embarrasses him. She beat him faster than Cain beat the other guy.
Yeah.
And Cain is like the favorite to win it all,
Right.
right? And I loved that. I loved the kind of like what the same thing you're saying, Deb. It's not just I'm going to beat you. It's I'm going to beat you so bad that it's going to hurt your feelings.
It's humiliating.
And it's going to hurt everybody else's feelings
balls
on
are
your
gonna
behalf,
shrivel
you know.
right back up into your body, buddy.
Yes. Yeah. Although it does, I actually debated making that also my least favorite moment just because it pisses Grave off so bad and sets up like really horrible stuff that he does in the next book,
Yeah.
Right.
which ends up being awful. But it was really good.
Yeah.
But we still
In
liked
this
it.
moment.
In
it's
this
your
moment,
favorite.
it was great. Yeah. Mindy, what about you?
Mine is completely different, although I really did love those moments. But I loved how Nehemia dressed in warrior regalia and carried her staff to acknowledge Selena before the duels. I just thought that was really cool. Like, you know,
It was sweet,
yeah.
respectful.
Yeah, like definitely just sort of acknowledging that they're warrior women together and just kind of uplifting. I loved that.
I feel like it was really powerful for
Yes.
Selena. Like that was
Yeah.
a powerful moment for her.
And bitch, you better win.
She's like, I'm giving you my staff. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah. What was your least favorite moment, Mindy?
I actually had two kind of. When Cain uses Selena's memories of when her parents died to taunt her, that's just cruel. Like, what a major douche.
Well, and he was trying to expose her too.
Yeah.
Because no one else knows about those memories, and he was calling her out about it.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, just these useless boys. I mean, Kale does save Selena from Cain the second time he attacks her, but he also whines because he immediately feels sorry for himself for killing someone. I'm like, you are such a fucking baby.
No, he's a little bitch.
So, and it's not all about you. Come on, dude. But that's better than Dorian, who doesn't do anything and then just asks himself why he didn't do anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
because you're a man.
My dad would have gotten mad. No, they were worried about the king killing them.
I was going to say,
I know,
let's give
but-
them a little bit more credit because the king literally could just like swipe their heads off right
True.
that second. So
We don't want to give him credit.
Except
They're
for Kale,
dudes.
he did not need to cry.
He cried.
I don't think he cried.
He felt like he was crying.
I see.
was a
He
little
went,
whiny.
he went in his room and stared at his dick and cried.
I know
he was
did.
like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
I view that whole thing though as the same as Dorian, like fear of the king.
Oh, really? I
Because
guess I just didn't read it that
Kael,
way.
it says that Kael saw the king give the signal to Cain to kill her.
Yeah.
So he knows like the king and Cain are in cahoots and he just like reacted instead of thinking about it. I saw that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw that as like being afraid of
I did too.
retribution.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
When you explain lying to me like that.
Sorry, I'm not trying to like crap on your
I just
least
like-
favorite moment.
When did you become a Kale apologist?
Listen, I've always been a Kale.
Do you have one of
Honestly,
those
I have.
Tamlin tattoos too?
I
on your
didn't
ankle?
want to tell anybody.
No, it's
on
just
my
a fiddle.
butt. One cheek is Tamlin, the other is Kale. What if that was true?
Oh my god!
I don't think you all
I
would be friends with me.
I would feel so bad for Robbie.
I would just make fun of you.
I'd be
Oh,
like,
man.
Robbie, do you like just spell it out when you're hitting it from behind? TAMLINCHAOL.
Oh man, that's
Shout
funny.
out to Robbie.
Shout out to Robbie. I can share my least favorite moment too, because it kind of has to do with Kale, but it's not really about him. It's more just that moment where Celaena, she really just completely loses hope, right?
Yeah.
Like she's completely giving up. She knows that she's been drugged. She knows that it's like not fair. It's not a fair fight, right? Like she's been sabotaged, and Kale's there to give her, like you're saying, he's trying to give her a little bit of strength and encouragement before Elena shows up, but I just think that scene is really heartbreaking to me. Like when you think about how much she has suffered through her entire life and struggled and fought to get to this point, and then to know that you
It's
were
not even a
sabotaged.
fair fight.
Yes, like
Yeah.
and it hasn't been the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he's in cahoots with the king
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Like that's so demoralizing, and that just made me hurt. Made me hurt for her.
Mine's around that same time. So it's when Celaena hears a laugh and it says it's soft, feminine, and vicious. And it's Kaltane.
Yeah.
And I hate that Kaltane's need for stature was used to poison Celaena, essentially. So Kaltane had to put up with Parrington's advances while he used her for his gain. And unfortunately, this isn't going to get much better for her.
I know.
But she
Oh,
gets her
no.
revenge, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of the entire
Me
series.
too. Yeah,
I love that part
She
of the
becomes
series.
one of my favorite characters,
She sure
but she
does.
is really, really horrible here.
Yeah.
for sure. Well, that brings us to our biggest revelation. And did you say your biggest revelation already? Or did you just mention?
I didn't, but I'm happy to go.
Okay.
I think I might have found a plot hole in the Maasverse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now
this
fighting
is-
words.
I know. So in this section of the book, Kaltane uses Bloodbane in hopes of making Celaena dizzy and disoriented in her fight against Cain, right? Like we know that. It's said that seers once used Bloodbane as a drug to view spirits from other worlds. So I wanted to do a deep dive into Bloodbane, but it's a mythical item.
Yeah.
And different fandoms use it for different things, so it's
Oh.
not even really used the same way. But Bloodbane is also seen in the ACOTAR series, but it is called Faebane. And in
Oh.
ACOTAR, it actually suppresses Fae powers instead of enhancing them like it does in this. So, it is the poison that is used by Hybern soldiers on their arrows in the war between Hybern and Prythian. That is not to be confused with the ash arrows that are used to shoot Rhysand and Feyre from the sky in A Court of Mist and Fury, which also suppresses power, but those are made from ashwood.
Yeah.
So, the plot hole is that Kaltane uses Bloodbane to essentially they're saying that seers used it to enhance their powers, but Bloodbane in ACOTAR is used to suppress powers.
Yeah. That doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't.
Would seers have to be Fae in Throne of Glass?
I mean, I guess not. So maybe it works differently on Fae. Don't ruin my plot hole.
No, I'm just asking.
No, here's the thing. I knew that I'm like, this feels like a really big plot hole, but no,
Yeah.
seers could be human. They wouldn't have to be Fae. But isn't the Oracle in Crescent City Fae? She's a seer.
I don't know.
Isn't the
See, now-
Weaver? The Weaver's a seer. Isn't she Fae?
I don't know what the Weaver
No.
is.
I feel like any seer that we have seen in the series has been a Fae, but maybe it's just because there wasn't a human one around.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes me want to do like a research project.
Here's the thing. I would really love it if you did that because I want to know if we found this like little... I mean, Sarah J. Maas is so like insane with her books and how everything connects
Yes.
together.
Sure. Yeah.
I find it hard to believe I found a plot hole.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You've intrigued me.
There's not much on the like interwebs about Bloodbane
Sure.
and Faebane.
Yeah.
I honestly I linked it in the show notes, but I got those notes off of Fandom Wiki because I
Yeah.
mean Bloodbane's
Yeah.
only really mentioned one or two times in like all of the
In
series.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is one hard thing about trying to look stuff up about this series in particular is that she just kind of made up her own stuff.
Yeah.
And the only things you can find are like, well, in this video game, they
Right.
they use this for what? And I'm like, that's not
No,
what I'm
it's not
looking
the
for.
same.
I'll tell you, because Mindy and I read ACOTAR like not too long after it came out, because only Mist and Fury was out when we started reading them.
Yeah.
And I remembered I couldn't really picture what the siphons looked like on the Bat Boys. And I looked on Pinterest and there was one picture, and it was like a really bad sketch of these
yeah.
men with wings with siphons. So it did have the siphons right, but there was no fan art
Yeah.
at that time. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't
That's
get
crazy.
what they look like or what the wings are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Right. And because I'm just such a visual person. And so
Yeah.
it's weird now that like you can't get, I mean, you should not look up any fan art
No.
of any fandom nowadays, ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're completely done with the series.
Right.
yeah, completely caught up. That's
So will you do a research project into that?
maybe.
Will that be your nerdiest thing of the week in a few weeks?
it may
might
be.
be.
It might be. Yeah. Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
I like
cool.
that. Mindy, what's your biggest revelation?
Well, I definitely forgot that Elena saves the day.
Me too.
The whole time I was reading this, I was asking myself, how the heck does she beat this asshole? Like, it goes worse from bad to worse to
It's
worse.
like, how is she going to pull this off?
Yeah, and I'm like, what happens here? Like, I know this continues. I know she beats him. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I totally forgot that that's what happened.
I kind of did
I'm
too.
here to save you.
No, I can't save you.
Yeah, I can actually. I can kind of save you, but not really. Yeah.
But she did. She totally interfered.
I know, but
Yeah.
she told her she couldn't help. She was weird that she was like, I can't help you, but I can protect you.
But I'm going to
Elena-
slam this light
Yeah.
into this guy.
She has like the weirdest rules for
Yeah.
like how and when she can appear or not, and I feel
what she
like
can and can't do.
honestly, I feel like she just like makes them up
I think
on
so,
the
too.
spot because
Right.
I still am very unclear. Like, what does she actually know at
Yeah.
this point? What doesn't she know?
So
And-
speaking of rules, and this was a question that I had, is how is Nehemia using word marks as magic?
that's a great question.
There's no magic in Adarlan, so how is she able to do all
I
this all the
genuinely
time?
do not
I
know.
don't either.
I really don't know.
Okay.
Maybe the next section will answer that.
But
for
I
us.
mean, Kane's using them to summon.
Kane's using them too. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, and technically the king has to use them for certain things, right? Because he's
Yeah.
kind of locked
Yeah.
down the clock tower. So maybe the king has not shut off wordmark magic. Maybe
I
everything
feel
else.
maybe, and I
Yeah.
feel too like maybe word marks because they're connected to the word, right? Which is supposed to be like,
It's like the cauldron.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the all powerful power kind of.
The mother.
Yeah, I feel like maybe word marks are its own thing outside of magic. Like it doesn't use magic; it uses word, which is a different thing.
Word.
But I don't know that. I just word.
Word to your
Yeah.
mother.
Just about to say that. Word to Nehemia.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. But my biggest revelation is with Kane having insider info. I did not realize that Kane knows things that Parrington doesn't. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good insight.
He seems to know that Selena is actually Aelin. He doesn't, doesn't outright say that because the reader's not supposed to know that at this point. But later,
sees all her memories.
right,
Yeah.
he mentions her parents and clearly like knows her actual backstory. But in Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the series, Erewhon says that he did not recognize Aelin for who she was while he was Parrington. So Kane says that his friends have told him so when he's like
The
sharing,
Valg.
yes, all this
Yeah.
information. But he's gesturing to the dead spirits around them, not
Do you
to the
think
Valg.
these are the same demons from Hell and Crescent City?
I wondered the same thing. I don't know because some of the descriptions, there was one that kind of seemed like maybe the adder from ACOTAR.
yeah,
like
for sure.
with the wings
with
and
the
stuff.
big fangs and stuff.
Yeah. So that's one of my questions: is what kind of communicating is Kane doing? Because if he's getting this information from these spirits or monsters or whatever they are, how is it that he can be infected with a Valg and not have that information go back to Erewhon?
Yeah.
You
that's a
know,
good point.
like
Yeah.
it just, I want a novella. I want a novella. I want multiple
You
novellas.
want Kane's novella?
Yeah, I want to know how he got in with Parrington, but I also want to know like what is he doing in these scenes where we don't see him in this book.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I would love his POV of like what's going on.
Right, because
with that.
we talked about in the last episode how he might be a victim, actually.
Yeah. And I
He
tend
might
to think
love
he
it.
is.
He
Yeah.
might love it, but he might
Yeah.
also be a victim.
Yeah.
I tend to think that he is a victim. And I did want to give a special shout out to some foreshadowing here as part of my biggest revelation. Selena thinks to herself, Cain is saying things that he can't possibly know, but he had seen it in her eyes. And we find out later in the series, Aylin's eyes are a telltale sign of being of the Ash River bloodline and would reveal to anybody looking for it that she was Aylin or at least related to her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
You know what foreshadowing I saw in this section is when she says he saw my past and my future on a glass throne. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You're going to be awesome.
So what about, did you guys have a favorite scene?
I did have a favorite spicy scene, and it's not necessarily spice.
I was going to say, I missed
Right.
the spice
I
in this
know,
segment.
But even though Selena and Dorian aren't in game, I love that she brings out this different side of him. She essentially like shuts up the fuck boy in him is what she does. And chapter 46 opens with this quote. It says, he saw her face each time he closed his eyes. She haunted his thoughts, made him wish to do grand and wonderful things in her name, made him want to be a man who deserved to wear a crown. And I feel like Selena opens Dorian up so that he's able to love Sorsha and then Manon.
I agree.
And so she has this very crucial part of helping him understand who he needs to be so that he can be the man that those two other women need.
Our boy's growing up.
I know. Well, and I think too that is part of what helps him have the fortitude to fight against the Volg when he becomes
100%. I don't think
infected,
he
too.
could have done it before. He would have just been like, okay, I mean, there's nothing I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That desire to, what is
Be
it?
better.
Be a man who deserves to wear the
For
crown.
wearing
Yeah,
the crown,
it made him want
Yeah.
to be a man who deserved to wear a crown.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's really important for his survival.
Because he doesn't see her as competition.
Right.
And if he does, he sees her as a formidable competitor.
Like
He
healthy
wants-
competition.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants to be better so he can be like that.
Not
right?
not the way Kaltain sees
Exactly.
sees her as competition.
Yeah.
For
And,
sure.
if you've not read
I love
Forward, Sorsha, it's like a whole thing. But
I know.
Manon, she's pretty great.
If you've not read Forward, we're telling you the whole thing.
Sorry, not sorry.
I know. I met someone at an art show this weekend that was talking about Throne of Glass, and I was like, "Have you read it all?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, you can't listen to our podcast
Yeah,
yet."
don't do it yet. What about chapter MVP? I can go first. Mine is Nehemia because she gives Selena her warrior's weapon. She does all the word mark stuff to essentially summon Elena to the duel to save Selena. And I just, without Nehemia, Selena gets killed by Cain.
Yeah. And so that was all of my reasons too. But she also honors Selena by wearing like Terrasen inspired clothing. I don't know if
Yeah.
you noticed that. And then she also says, let it be with an Ilway weapon that you take them down. Let wood from the forest of Ilway defeat steel from Adarlan. Let the king's champion be someone who understands how the innocent suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very poignant.
Yeah. Really meaningful.
Beautiful moment.
What about you, Mindy?
Well, I actually chose Elena. I mean, she definitely
Elena.
randomly shows up and says she can't do anything, but actually
She's
does.
what is she called? An ex machina? No, that's a movie. What is she called?
Deus Ex Machina.
Okay, got it.
So I don't know. I just thought that was, again, surprising to me because I'd completely forgotten. But it also made me wonder, like, I know we figured out that Nehemia is actually the one who's sort of summoning or controlling this
yeah.
whole thing. But she's also seeing what I would call hallucinations of what's going on around Cain, what Cain's summoning, I guess, himself.
Right, how is she seeing this shit?
Yeah, I mean, and she definitely thinks she is hallucinating, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to look a little bit into what kinds, are there different kinds of hallucinations? Is there different, are there different ways to hallucinate? And there's a plethora of information out there. I found this article on livescience.com about all these different types of syndromes. So a hallucination is, of course, when you see, hear, or smell something that isn't really there, right?
Can I say something real quick, though? One of the coolest things I've seen about reading books is it says, they said something like, there's nothing more goth than looking at dead dreams and hallucinating about a character. Or dead trees. And hallucinating
Yeah.
about a character.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
100%.
You're hallucinating when you read.
Exactly.
Especially, and I found out, too, some people don't see characters in their head or voices, but I do. So, I mean,
do
you
too.
are.
Well, a lot of
you are
people, when they
hallucinating.
read, they're not picturing it. They can't picture
I
it at
have
all.
to.
Or they can't even picture stuff in their mind when they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
That would be a really
I don't know
cool
what
deep
it
dive,
says
too.
about me, but I always have an internal dialogue.
So it can be brought on by drugs or dementia or other brain alteration. But there are some clinical syndromes where a specific brain pathway will create a particular image or delusion. Some of these are so interesting. First, of course, I love this. I don't want anybody to have this syndrome, but I love the name of it. Alice in Wonderland syndrome.
Oh, your
Oh.
favorite.
So this is a neurological syndrome that is marked by unusual and distorted perceptions of time and space, like Alice experienced in Lewis Carroll's book. So people with Alice in Wonderland syndrome often report seeing objects or even parts of their own bodies as smaller, larger, or differently shaped than they really are. So can you imagine, like,
I wish I felt that
looking
way
down
about
and-
my boobs.
right? They may also experience altered perceptions of time. So this is actually a very rare syndrome that's caused by some viral infections, epilepsy, migraines, and brain tumors.
Oh, my.
So of course I have a new fear unlocked.
Something else to worry about.
Because I get migraines, so
Yeah.
But some studies have shown that it could be caused specifically by abnormal activity in parts of the visual cortex, which processes information about the size and shape of things.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Okay. Well,
I'm still thinking about that.
let me tell you about walking corpse syndrome.
Oh, Lord.
God.
Zombies?
It's also called Cotard syndrome. This is a rare mental illness where patients have the delusion that they are dead or dying or have lost their internal organs.
Oh.
Oh, dear
It's
God.
very specific.
That is
This
very
one can be
specific.
caused by psychiatric and neurological problems, including schizophrenia, traumatic brain injury, stroke, and multiple sclerosis.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one sounds awful. Really, all of these sound terrible. The next one's called Charles Bonnet syndrome, and it gets developed by people who have lost their sight, and then they will hallucinate people's faces, like cartoons, colored patterns, and objects, things that aren't there. The condition is believed to happen when the brain's visual system stops receiving input from the eye or a section of the retina, leading it to generate its own images to compensate. So, like, basically your brain's making up something that's not there.
Yeah, to like
replace,
fill in.
Yeah, to replace actually seeing something. Studies show that this syndrome occurs in about 10 to 40% of older adults that have significant vision loss.
I hope I see some cool shit.
I know. I hope
Not scary shit.
I was gonna say I hope
Yeah.
it's not like clowns and penises.
Yeah, I do. When I'm older, I don't need to see any more dicks.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I don't
Right.
want to.
I have suffered enough.
Yeah,
Don't you love how I put clowns and penises on the same playing field?
clowns don't bother me. Penises do.
Clowns definitely bother me. So that one actually is a lot more significant and less rare than some of these other ones. Because you think about, like, vision impairment is a lot more common
Very
than some of
common,
these
yeah.
other neurological developments. Next, we have clinical lycanthropy, which is an extremely rare condition where the person believes that they are turning into a wolf or other animal. They perceive their own bodies differently and insist that they are growing hair, sharp teeth, and claws of a wolf.
Huh.
Cases have also been reported of patients believing they are dogs, pigs, frogs, and snakes.
Oh.
Can you imagine if you saw somebody like slithering around like a snake? Like, what is wrong with you?
Would they slither? Oh, that would be really.
I mean, if you felt like that's what you were,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they probably also honestly feel like they have scales
One
or
of
like that
the
skin.
Preacher's Daughter coming out right now. That's me, just for our listeners. Like, that's me.
I'm sitting here thinking, is this a movie?
No, I
Preacher's
just,
Daughter at 10.
one of the kings of Babylon had a psychiatric episode where he thought he was an animal, and he
Interesting.
would go out in the fields and literally eat the grass and stuff.
Interesting.
Interesting.
He had clinical
He had,
lycanthropy.
yeah.
The next
Interesting.
one is called capgras delusion. And patients with capgras believe that someone they are close to has been replaced by an imposter.
Oh Lord.
Can you? Yeah, this one just sounds
Like
unreal.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Right. This
Yeah.
has been reported in patients with Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, and advanced Parkinson's disease, dementia, and brain lesions. Some studies show the condition may involve reduced neural activity in the brain system that processes the information about faces and emotional responses. So, you're seeing the face, but you're not putting together that it's the same person. You think it's somebody else. I can't, okay, my mom has dementia, and I know she's not really in that hallucinogenic phase, so to speak, but she does talk about things that aren't there sometimes. And I can't imagine being at odds with your own brain. It just makes me sad.
I think a lot of times they don't know they're at odds with their own brain, right? If that is like a comforting factor.
They don't in the advanced stages, but like right now, like when you're in early stages, you have dementia and you don't understand why. Like, my mom will even tell people, she's like, I have dementia. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, that to me, that's the sign or the stage, I guess, that seems to me the most traumatic, I think, for the person who's going through it.
I worked with seniors like ages and ages ago, like right out of college, and we would always train our volunteers on, spotting dementia and things like that. But one of the things we learned about in our own training to talk to families about was if they're in late stages of life, right? And maybe they're in hospice or whatever, and they're saying they're like seeing angels. If it makes them happy, just let them
just
see
let
them.
it be. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Unless it's scaring them or causing harm in some way. Like if that's bringing them peace. Well, I mean, we don't know. Maybe they are seeing
And if
them.
you try to tell them that they're not, it just confuses them more.
Right. And gets them frustrated.
It's just like, when somebody tells the same story and over and again, you just pretend like it's the first time you've heard it because otherwise they get frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very frustrating disease. I don't wish anybody to have to go through with it or to take care of somebody close to them that has it. It's not fun. Anyway, let's talk more about hallucination syndrome. It's not going to bring it up very much, but so the next one's called Othello syndrome. And it's named after the Shakespeare character. And if you know the play, it's pretty obvious why. Patients with Othello syndrome have a paranoid belief that their partner is cheating on them. So they experience strong possessive thoughts, which can lead to aggression and violence.
It's better than Hamlet syndrome where you want to fuck your mom.
That's
not a thing. But
Oedipus,
Oedipus complex. Don't fuck your mom. That's weird.
Don't do that. That's gross.
Yeah, we do not condone that.
And then finally, we have Ekbom syndrome, and patients with this syndrome strongly believe, this is so gross, that they are infested with parasites that are crawling under their skin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, patients report itching and feeling like they are being bitten. Sometimes they will harm themselves to try to get rid of the sensations, which ultimately end up resulting in actual wounds and infections.
Right.
Scientists haven't even found out what causes these delusions, but studies have shown a connection to structural changes in the brain, and some patients have reacted positively to antipsychotic medication.
The brain is such a complex organ.
It is fascinating and just very complicated, and I will never understand it.
Yeah.
But it will always fascinate me.
That is really interesting. Thank you for doing that deep dive.
So I don't know that Selena necessarily was experiencing any of those kinds of hallucinations.
Well, she was experiencing something.
Definitely going through it.
Was she hallucinating, or was she seeing what was actually there that no one else could see? Was she seeing like the Valg side of things?
I mean, that's the big question.
That's kind of what I assume, especially like you said,
because Kane's reacting to what's going on around her.
He sees it too,
right? And so does Nehemia.
Wait, he sees Elena?
He talks to Elena.
I got so confused in that.
Yeah, he talks to Elena.
Of like what was his visions and what was her visions. And
I think that the way that it read to me is that Kane is seeing everything that she is seeing.
Yeah.
And she only sees it when the Bloodbane is in her system.
Okay.
But yeah, when he says all the players of the old game have all been brought together, he's talking to Elena.
Okay.
When he says that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he saw everything.
I might have been on Bloodbane when I read that.
There was a lot going on.
Or
in
gummies,
the
or gummies.
But yeah, I really like that deep dive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. That was great.
That was very interesting.
I will move us into favorite secondary character, which is probably your favorite secondary character too, Mindy.
Actually, no, probably not.
She says sarcastically, because mine is Kale.
So is mine. So is mine.
that's
for the
hilarious.
first time ever.
Yeah, because I said just like Nehemia, without Chaol, Cain kills Selena, right?
Yeah.
The king was going to have Cain as the victor no matter what, but Chaol, I said, stepped out of obedient captain for a split second and ruined the king's plan, but saved Selena. You know,
he also is willing to give Selena his weapon, which getting a weapon from the captain of the guard is one of the highest honors you can have, right?
Yeah.
So that's also treasonous, right? And then he literally lays on the ground and puts his fingers as close to the chalk line as he can, and
that actually
keeps
was a
telling
really
her
sweet
to
moment.
get up.
That was
right?
really sweet.
Like, you see this different side of him where, like, he's telling her to get up, and he's probably thinking, "I'm gonna die after this. I'm gonna get killed."
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
and maybe he would have if he hadn't killed. Well, I was gonna say maybe he would have gotten killed if he hadn't killed Cain, but like, why would that stop?
right.
Why would that have stopped the king? You know,
Right. The king will do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Mindy? Who's your favorite
Mine
secondary?
was actually Nehemia for all the same reasons that she was y'all's MVP. Not only does she offer her weapon for Selena to use, but she's obviously the one that summons Elena.
Yeah.
Like, at first I couldn't really tell exactly what she was doing, but, you know, she was willing to wear herself out doing it.
Yeah.
You know, she put everything out there, everything on the line, and then it takes her out, basically. Not permanently, but...
Eventually it does, though.
I mean, yeah.
I do not remember that happening, and I just read this yesterday.
Well, let's talk about favorite quotes. I know, Deb, you've shared some kind of as we've been going.
I have three
Do you
more.
have others? Do you have others?
There were some good ones in this section.
Well, and there's one that really struck me, like, as a woman, and it says, "For a heartbeat, she saw the king with stark clarity. He was just a man with too much power, and in that one heartbeat, she didn't fear him." And that really stuck with me in our current climate.
That was a good one.
I was like, okay, I need to remember that. So my other two were things that Selena said to Grave, and she said, "You have no idea what you're getting yourself into, little man." And then finally she said, my name is Selena Sardathian, but it makes no difference if my name's Selena or Lillian or bitch, because I'd still beat you no matter what you call me."
That was one of mine, too.
Perfect.
I liked that one as well.
And don't forget, she kicked his ass in like 2 minutes and said all that during that time, right? So she's not even out of breath, and she's talking shit to him the entire time. I love it.
Beat you so bad it'll hurt your feelings. Yep. Mindy, what were your favorite quotes?
So that was mine first when Selena, after she dueled Grave, and I liked what she said to herself before she was about to duel Grave, and it says, "She bit down on her grimace at the sight of his teeth. Of course she'd have to duel the grotesque one."
Like, please don't bite me. Don't bite me.
I know,
Don't
like,
bite me.
ew, yeah. Don't breathe on me, whatever.
That
But
is
then,
pretty
like,
funny.
and then to come back with that same quote that you had.
I picture him as, who's the guy that plays Roland shit?
Oh gosh.
You know who I'm talking about.
Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott. But in the 90s, he played a character on the movie Snow Day. And his big thing is prepping, because he's like the snow plow truck driver. And when he was prepping for the role, he stopped brushing his teeth.
Oh.
And that's what I picture Grave looking like, is rolling shit without brushing his teeth.
Was he the one, too, that's pockmarked? Because then that reminds me of him in There's Something About Mary, when he gets highs. same guy.
Chris Elliott.
Same guy, yeah.
Woo.
Comedic. I mean, great
He is,
comedic
yeah,
genius.
really,
He
really
is.
funny. Well, I have two favorite quotes. One, Deb, you mentioned part of it earlier. She stood not 10 feet from the King of Adarlan. Freedom or death lay at this table. Her past and future were seated on a glass throne. And I wrote the title.
Wow.
Yeah, like there it is. I see it. And then the other one, Selena says this to Kaal. "Thank you for making my freedom mean something," which was also one of my questions. What do you think she's talking about specifically to Kaal? Like, what did he make her freedom mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
a good point.
I was like,
that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
I was like, this is sweet. And I get that they're like forming this bond and, friendship together.
I mean, this is the first time she's ever had real friends. So maybe that's what she means.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe she didn't have to do it all by herself.
Yeah, I guess.
I
guess that's true. Because it was after he offered her his sword.
Yeah.
So maybe that is. Yeah, because I was just kind of like, huh?
And
what did he do?
And also, she's thinking she's buying her freedom again all by herself.
Yeah.
And then, to her freedom's going off and being by herself.
That's true.
At this point, before she makes these friends here, her freedom's going to be
just escaping and isolating.
being alone. Yeah.
Right. And now her
that's
freedom
true.
means she has friends and found
That's
family.
true.
Somebody to fight for.
Good job, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
That's how I see it.
You helped me.
Well, it's good because, I
I
didn't
think
see a
you're
whole
right.
lot of other shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I already mentioned one of my questions, which is how exactly is Cain communicating with the dead? Like, what's going on there? And in that same line of thinking, when Cain says all the players in the unfinished game are back, shouldn't that tell Elena that Erewhon is not like trapped anymore, like she left him? Like, if she didn't already know that, shouldn't that have been...
I don't feel like Elena's the most observation person
I don't either.
on the dead plane.
Yeah, because I was
there.
like, well, because I'm under the impression for some reason that she doesn't know that Erewhon is like in play.
I agree.
But now when he said that, I was like, shouldn't that be a pretty big hint to
Yeah.
her that Erewhon is back in play?
I
But
mean, I
then-
guess there's a lot of people that could be back in
well,
play,
yeah,
though.
that's true. But my biggest question that I was just kind of perplexed by is, what exactly is Parrington and the King planning on doing with Cain once he becomes the King's champion? Like, besides the quote, what the King's champion job is supposed to be.
I mean, I assumed
you know?
he would be almost like a recruiter for the Valg.
That
He
could be true.
would. He could, strong arm people into being possessed. He could get them to Morath,
Yeah,
right?
like be the kidnapper guy, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh. That's a good point. Because they definitely, I mean, they did a lot to make sure he was going to win.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
kept-
already possessed, so they know he's on
Yeah,
their side,
right.
right?
Because I
He's not
kept
gonna go
thinking,
anywhere.
like, why are y'all working so hard? Like, what are you planning to do with this kid? You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
But
that
also,
makes
like,
sense.
just like Selena, I mean, he's a loose cannon,
Yeah,
right?
that's
It's
true.
not like he's
Yeah.
actually subservient to anything. He's
That is true.
Yeah.
doing a lot of what he wants.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and he's talking to ghosts apparently, getting all the insider info that nobody else is privy
Yeah.
to.
Whitney, I'm hoping you can answer this question, because who the hell are Lords Urizen and Garnell?
I actually had to read that a couple of times because I was really confused. So it was kind of just weird storytelling. So they are somebody, those two people, they both hired Selena like in the past,
Right,
to
but-
kill the same person.
But not in Assassin's Blade.
No,
You're just these
they're
random
just
people, and they're
two
never
random
talked about
people.
again.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just two random people from her past as the assassin.
Right. They hired her separately to kill the same
The
man.
same person, yeah.
Right. So she took both of their forms of payment and like kind of mocks them when they're sitting there. But SJM is so like clinical almost in the way that she does things. I'm like, why are these two characters here that are never brought up again?
Yeah, usually her storytelling is a lot like tighter, I guess is the way I would say it. But that
because I searched for a long time to
I
try
know.
to figure out who they were.
I was very confused for a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
but I think I
Maybe they
kind
were
of
supposed
feel
to
like
come back.
I mean, maybe she had a plan that she abandoned, but I also wondered if she was just trying to give us another example of like the past and the present colliding a little bit, and it was
Yeah.
just kind of like a clumsy way to do it,
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
or
yeah.
giving her something else to stress about, or
But
guess,
they
yeah.
didn't. But like they didn't need names. She
No,
could have
they
been like
definitely
there were
didn't.
like
There's two random
There were
men.
two fat ass dudes sitting
Yeah.
there eating.
Yeah.
They
Oh, I
both-
remember them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have worked better for me because it took me out of the story because I was like, who?
Yeah.
I agree because
Oh, I
I
would agree with
felt
that, too.
very confused about
That makes me
too.
feel better because I reread it several times.
No,
Yeah.
I did too. I definitely had to read it more than once. Mindy, what kind of questions do you have?
you might be able to answer this one
Oh
too.
no, you guys are
Help
putting
us,
me on
Whitney.
the spot.
Help us.
So there's this one point, and of course I didn't write down when it was, but that Selena says that there are voices calling to her. Like she says they are saying a different and dangerous name. Are they calling her Aelin? Okay, that's what I thought.
That's what I
Like the
assumed.
ghosts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, I
Because
just
she
wanted-
doesn't want anyone to hear that.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify for reasons.
Yeah, I think for reasons. Yeah, I guess it's the same ghosts that are telling Cain who she actually is and like
Right.
what her history is.
Right.
But what about what we are looking forward to? What are you guys looking forward to?
I mean, this is about to wrap up, and I really like the next book a lot. So, meeting Baba Yellowlegs, Selena finally gets some. And then, like, Dorian begins to come into his own powers because there's
does,
nothing
yeah.
in this book to indicate that he might have magic,
Yeah.
right? And I
Yeah,
love
that's
that
true.
he starts having a much bigger arc in the next book.
Yeah, that is very true. He is kind of just a love interest, sort of, in this story, and he does have a bigger role.
I did come across a Reddit feed today when I was trying to look up some of these questions I had, and someone said, like, I don't get why everybody's so into Dorian. And someone had a really good point of how he has some of the biggest character growth of all the
Yes.
characters in this series.
That's true, yeah.
And literally goes from fuckboy to, like, king, someone
Yeah.
that deserves to be king, someone who deserves to rule.
And earned it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it takes him 7 books to get
Yeah.
there, but he does. And he ends up being amazing. Right.
Yeah,
And I mean,
I agree with that.
He's a shadow daddy. He has, can you imagine having just like other hands there? I mean, I'm not sad about it.
Yeah. He's
Go Manon.
yeah. There's a reason everybody loves Dory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mindy, what are you looking forward to?
So along the same lines, this is actually only the second time I've read this first book. So I know you all have read this series more than once.
This is my 3rd time.
I think
Yeah.
it's my
Yeah.
third time. It's
Yeah.
either third or fourth.
It's too big of a series to read over and over again.
well, and I'm not a huge rereader anyways. And so now I'm kind of looking forward to deciding whether or not I'm going to reread the
Yeah.
whole series, or at least, a couple
should
more
listen
books
to
or
it.
something.
It's
That's a
really good on
idea,
audio.
the
Yeah.
audiobooks are great.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
And a lot of times
It'll
they'll
take
be
me 2 years.
Yeah.
That's okay. A lot of times you can find them on sale on Audible too when they're
Okay.
doing their
Yeah.
big sales every year.
Yeah, highly recommend the
that's
audiobooks.
That's what I'm looking forward to, getting back into the story.
Oh yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if I
We
would.
sucked you back in.
I mean, I told you all, like, unpopular opinion, that this is not my favorite series at first.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fine. But now rereading it again, it reminds me why I did like it when I
I
first
think
read
it's
it.
one of those series that you love the more times you read it because you notice so much stuff,
yeah.
right?
And
I
I
would
think
agree with
that's
that.
what's coming back
Yeah.
to me.
It's fun to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It is really fun to talk about. Well, I don't have anything super specific that I'm looking forward to. I'm hopeful that maybe a couple of our questions will get answered because I don't remember what happens in the next section. I remember the duel being
Yeah.
the end, and obviously it's not the very, very end.
Right.
And maybe just a tiny little bit of peace for Selena before
shit
it all,
hits the fan.
before it all keeps
I mean,
on going.
That's cute. You've read the series. That doesn't
I know.
happen.
Just for like a couple of minutes, though. you know?
Okay. Well, she does get fucked, so she's peaceful at least
Yeah.
for that. Oh,
Is there anything else you guys wanted to make sure we talked about?
no, this book's been really fun to cover.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sad
know it
next week's the
has.
last
I'm
one.
sad we only have one. Yeah. Next week is our final episode for Throne of Glass, chapters 51 through 54. Make sure you listen in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Like what you heard in this episode? Follow Our Nerdiest Thing on Instagram at instagram.com/Our Nerdiest Thing or Facebook at facebook.com/Our Nerdiest Thing. We love hearing from fellow nerds. Email us at ournerdiestthing@gmail.com.